Welcome back class 8 to the online bio classes. After a long time, once again, let's continue with the fourth chapter, that is control and coordination, in which you have already learned about the nervous system, the three types of nervous system, that is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Then you studied about the functions of brain and spinal cord, the functions of peripheral nervous system, which consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Nerves that arises from the brain are called cranial nerves. And how many pairs of cranial nerves are there? There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Then 31 pairs of spinal nerves are there, the nerves which arises from spinal cord. Then we studied about the functions of the different types of endocrine glands. What is endocrine system? Endocrine system is the system which consists of different types of glands, endocrine glands, and their secretions, which are known as hormones. So hormones are chemical messengers which help to carry the message of whatever information is to be given in the body. Like the thyroid gland produces the growth hormone, it will help in the growth of body. Similarly, the pituitary gland is called the master gland. Why? Because it controls the function of other endocrine glands. All this you have already studied. That pituitary gland, where it is located? Located in the brain, just below the hypothalamus of the brain. And it controls the secretion of all other endocrine glands. That's why it is known as master gland. And what are some of the hormones produced by it? TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. It also secretes a hormone which is called ACTH, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. It also helps in the secretion of the hormones like FSH, LH. It will help them to secrete their hormones, the other endocrine glands. Next we studied what are the two types of glands, exocrine and endocrine. Exocrine glands are the one in which they pour their secretion through a duct or a tube. Like our sweat gland is there, the one which produces sweat in our body. It is passed through the sweat duct or the pore on the surface of the body, through which the sweat is released. Then we studied about the salivary gland is also a type of exocrine gland which produces a digestive juice called saliva in our mouth or the oral cavity. Then we studied what are endocrine glands. So we also studied what are glands. Gland is a cell or a tissue or an organ that produces a special secretion called hormones. So what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers which are also called as biocatalyst. So what is biocatalyst? Catalyst means those substances which changes the rate of a chemical reaction are called catalyst. So biocatalyst means those chemicals which are released or secreted in our body from the different types of endocrine glands. Like the different types of endocrine glands are pituitary gland, thyroid gland which is located in the neck region, below the larynx or the sound box. Then we have the adrenal gland which is located above the kidneys. Then we have the pancreas, which is also a endocrine gland as well as exocrine gland. Yesterday I told you that pancreas is called a compound gland. Why? Because it has exocrine part and endocrine part also. So exocrine part of pancreas is the one which produces a digestive juice called pancreatic juice that helps in the digestion of different types of food materials. And the endocrine part of pancreas is a mass of cells which is called islets of Langerhans, that is not mentioned in your book, which has three different types of cells: alpha, beta and delta cells. Alpha cells are the one which secrete a hormone called glucagon. Beta cells of the islets of Langerhans, that is of pancreas, secretes a hormone called insulin, and the delta cell is the one which secretes a hormone called somatostatin. Yesterday I told you the function of insulin is to decrease the blood sugar level. How? By uptaking the sugar content or the glucose by the body cells, as well as it will help to change or convert excess of glucose into glycogen and store them in liver. Alright, then we studied what is the function of second one, that is glucagon is a hormone which helps to decrease the blood sugar level by the process of changing of or conversion of glycogen into glucose. Alright, so that will increase the blood sugar level. Then we studied about the growth hormones, important endocrine glands. What is growth hormone? The hormone which is produced from pituitary gland is called growth hormone, and if there is excess secretion of growth hormone, a person will become very tall, that is called gigantism. If there is low secretion or under secretion of growth hormone, it will lead to short stature in height, the person will not grow fully in height, and that condition is called the dwarfism. Then we studied about diabetes insipidus. What is ADH? Antidiuretic hormone is the one which helps to regulate the amount of water in the body by reabsorbing the excess water from the kidney tubules. So if there is less secretion of ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, more of water will pass into the urine, and that condition is called diabetes insipidus. Now see, there are two types of diabetes. The one which is caused due to under secretion of ADH is called diabetes insipidus. The other one which is caused due to less secretion of insulin, under secretion of insulin, that is called diabetes mellitus. So diabetes mellitus is the blood sugar one, in which sugar will increase. But in diabetes insipidus, there is no need to worry about the sugar. There is no sugar present in the urine or in the blood also. Okay. Now next we studied about the thyroid gland. It is a simple gland which is bilobed, that has two lobes, like this. The structure is already there. Two lobes are there of the thyroid gland. You can see in the diagram also I told you to draw. Okay, these are the two lobes of thyroid gland. Where it is located? It is present on the windpipe, on either side of the windpipe, and it secretes a hormone. The hormone is called thyroxine hormone, and thyroxine hormone is the one which is required for the metabolism of the body, that is BMR, as well as for the mental development of body. Now, which mineral is required for the working of thyroxine or the thyroid gland? The answer is iodine is the mineral required for the proper working of thyroid gland. So, if there is deficiency of iodine in our food or in our diet, then there will be insufficient, or the thyroid gland may not work properly, and this will lead to swelling of the lobes of thyroid gland. Our neck region will swell, and that disease is called simple goiter, in which there is swelling of the thyroid gland. Alright, now next one is deficiency of iodine in a child will cause a disease which is called cretinism, in which the child will remain short in height. But if there is deficiency of iodine in the adult, the disease which is caused is called myxoedema, in which there is reduction in BMR, the body will swell, hence swelling of face and hands will be there due to retention of fluid inside the body. Then we studied about the adrenal gland. The glands which are located on the surface of the kidney, like here the gland is present, such glands are called adrenal glands. Okay? The prefix yesterday I told, ad means near and renal means kidney. So on either kidney, on both the kidneys, on the top of the kidney, the adrenal glands are located, and it secretes two types of hormones. What are they? Number one is adrenaline, which is also known as emergency hormone. Now why adrenaline is called emergency hormone? Because it helps to prepare our body for emergency situation. Like once you see a tiger, or during an accident or a fight, at that time our body will produce more energy to deal with that emergency situation. Like our heartbeat will increase, our blood supply will increase, breathing rate will also increase, and more of glucose will be pumped in the blood, the rate of respiration also increases. So that condition is called emergency situation, and for that the hormone which is responsible is called adrenaline hormone. Alright, so adrenaline will help to make our body fit for emergency situations. Alright. Okay, the next hormone which I was saying, that adrenaline. The second hormone is called corticosteroid hormone, which is secreted from adrenal gland. And the function of corticosteroid, it helps to control the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, fats in our body, and they also helps to maintain the salt and water balance, that helps to control the amount of salt, amount of water in the body. Now next is the pancreas. I told you about pancreas is located in the U-shaped arm of duodenum. Here only the pancreas gland is located. Okay, so this U-shaped arm of duodenum, duodenum is the part of the small intestine, the first part. In that U-shaped arm, this pancreas gland is located. Alright, and pancreas is a leaf-like structure, you can see in the book. It is a leaf-like structure. Alright, and it produces, it is called a compound gland. This pancreas is called a compound gland. Why? Because it has both exocrine and endocrine part. The exocrine part of pancreas produces a digestive juice called pancreatic juice, and endocrine part of pancreas produces two types of hormones mentioned in your book. What are they? Insulin and glucagon. Insulin decreases the level of glucose, and glucagon increase the level of glucose in the body. Okay. Now next, today we have to start the topic called adolescence. Adolescence. What is adolescence? You know, adolescence, spelling you can check SCNC. The period between 11 to 19 years. The time between 11 to 19 years of age is called adolescence. And there is some changes during this age, that a child is moving from childhood to adulthood. Understood? It means many changes. What type of changes occur? Changes are there in the physical body, changes are there in the behavior, changes are there in the social behavior, in the mental development. So all this stage is unique. Why? Because there is some growth noticed in the body. There is weight gain, development of reproductive organs, and many physiological and emotional changes also occurs during this period. Now, what is puberty? Puberty is the age in which a child is capable of producing the gametes. Like, puberty is the period during which sexual development takes place, in which girls and boys, like the girls are able to produce the eggs and the boys are able to produce the male gamete, which is known as the testes. Testis, which produces the sperm cells. Alright? Okay, now the next you can see is puberty marks the beginning of development of a child to become an adult. During this period, several changes occurs due to release of hormones like sex hormones and growth hormones. So next page, physical changes during adolescence. What are they? Number one, reproductive organs will mature and they will become functional. The pituitary gland will help to release a hormone called FSH, that stands for follicle stimulating hormone. Alright? And the second one called LH, that is luteinizing hormone in the young females. So these hormones enable the female ovaries to start secretion of or the production of female gamete, that is the eggs. The ovaries become enlarged, that is bigger in size, and produces the female hormones. Two female hormones are there, estrogen and progesterone. The egg matures so that it can be released from the ovary after for fertilization. In boys, the testis and penis will enlarge, and the testis begins to produce the sperm and the male sex hormone, which is known as testosterone. So what you learned in this one, that the reproductive organs mature, and in case of female, two hormones are produced, FSH and LH. In case of male, the hormone called testosterone is secreted from the testes, and there is enlargement of testes and the penis. Number two, in boys, the voice box, that is the larynx, it will become bigger in size, enlarged, and there will be hoarseness of voice. Okay, the enlarged larynx forms the Adam's apple. So this Adam's apple is the one which is seen like a protrusion, like in the neck region you may find in the boys. This one is somewhat swollen. Okay, in the neck region. In the girls it is not there. That is called Adam's apple or the sound box. As you can see here, it is coming outside, bulging outward. That is called Adam's apple or the voice box. So larynx forms the Adam's apple, which appears like a protrusion in the neck. The length of the vocal cords also increases. In boys, the voice becomes deeper, while in girls it is high-pitched voice. Next one is, there is growth of hair in different parts of the body, like under the armpits, in the pubic region, in the chest region in case of boys, as well as in some in the armpits. In boys, facial hair also develop, that is like the appearance of mustache and beard, but in females it is not there. In girls, the breast develop an increase in size, and the menstrual cycle also begins, and the pelvic region, that will grow or enlarge, become wide. In boys, the chest and the shoulder will increase in size, it will become broad, and the muscles will become more strong. The oil and sweat glands, they become more active and start producing plenty of sweat, that results in the formation of pimples in the young boys. Okay, so excess oil secretion cause skin problem like pimples and acne. An increase in the height and weight may also occur in the young adolescent boys and girls, and that will lead to the fatty condition in which they will become overweight. Now, what are the emotional changes during adolescence? Some emotional changes are also noticed during adolescence. So for today, you can continue up to this much only. In the next class, in the interactive class, we will continue with emotional changes during adolescence. So for your homework, after watching the video, you can like, comment your name or a sentence about the video, and in the next class, interactive class, we will continue with the emotional changes during adolescence. Okay, thank you, take care.